right, welcome everybody to the Sunday show. This is Arsenal Fan Circle. Pull up a chair. You're all welcome here. We got Alonso back. How are you, Alonso?
Yeah, good, Ray. Good to see you both, Tony and yourself. Looking forward to seeing Arsenal. Talking about Arsenal and their issues. We all know they could do better, especially against the weaker side. So, yeah, very disappointed, but it is what it is at this point. It's like a bucket record now. Sure they have issues, and well, I guess we're going to talk about it today.
Yeah, listen, I never thought that we would use the progressive to pragmatic banner as an actual headline, as an actual title for a podcast, but we are still questioning where we are after this 4 or 5 years of Mikel Arteta. I have to say, 4 years of progress where we have gone further, farther in the league. In the league, I know Tony wants to jump in here, right? We've gone further and progressed from 56 points to 63 points to, 89 or 83 points and 89 points. I've lost track, but we've tracked, Tony, we've been tracking better each year. This year, I don't know what's going to happen because we're going to hit a halfway point in the season on January 1st where we might be lucky just to get 40 points at the halfway stage, Tony. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's not good enough because, like I said, the whole thing of the original change was all the Wenger out was competing and winning titles, and we're not winning titles. One FA Cup isn't enough, especially if you go what they've paid on players. I mean, I said that to you. If you see that or not, our position based on what we spent, we're like 11th or 13th or something. Or
Yeah.
not where you should be if you're spending the amount
Yeah.
of money we have, the market cap.
Honestly, I haven't had a time to take a look at it, Tony. There's been things going on. I've been watching games, of course, but I know the stuff that I sent to you, and you know the stuff that you sent to me. So we'll talk about it. And Alonso, you're dead right, Alonso. The last two results have been poor against lower ranked teams, Fulham and now Everton.
Yeah, but
To be fair, I
Everton.
think that whenever we have Fulham, they've gotten better. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they've gotten really, really good lately. They
Yeah,
made some good signings. I think having Emil Defoe and
yeah,
Wobi Jimenez, I think they've got a good team. Um, which to be fair, it's a derby game, right? So those games can be tricky. You saw how they played against Liverpool. They should have won that game. They should have won that game being Liverpool are man down. However, you know, it's just Everton. We should blow them out, and we always have a tough time against the teams that we should beat. And I say that should, but
mm,
in the Premier League, you never know what could happen. And so I thought to myself yesterday. I said to myself, Arsenal have become too predictable. They depend too much on Saka to make things happen. Therefore, teams don't have to depend on him now. Um, Odegaard obviously isn't up to par. Hopefully he'll get more used to playing. He was hurt. He's been hurt lately, so it seems like teams know how to defend us because we're so predictable. Havertz can score a goal here and there but he's been so inconsistent.
yeah.
Martinelli is more capable of scoring goals, but he just I don't know when runs out of gas, and the hunger is not there no more. It seems like so. It just sucks that we're having to be in this situation, or they're having to be in a situation where they just look out. They look confused on
Out of
what
sorts.
to do. Yeah, are like really really weird. So
Yeah. No, definitely. We've had situations. We're kind of I said many times Liverpool are this season are what they were last season. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the results to come in for Liverpool, which will bring them to a low 80 points finish, a mid 80 points finish, and that might be enough to win the league at the way things are going. Honestly, right now in
You,
the league, um,
you're forgetting the blue team, right?
Mhm.
I'm going to get there, and I know you wanted to come back in on Everton. We will do that. Really said a system designed for control has a limit beyond when it takes the creativity away, and that's what we're here to talk about as well. And really goes on to say, have we regressed as a team due to overcoaching and control tactics? Definitely, there's some stats we're going to bring you, which will be a little bit shocking. Yeah, Tony and I were exchanging information, Tom, not love letters. Maybe, but that maybe is our love language. Tony
But
and I, we're
but what Rudy was talking about, I kind of brought it up Thursday. We
yeah,
mentioned it a couple of times. It's like you get all this creativity that they're allowed on the corners, but everything else is just well drilled. You got to do this. Odegaard, you got to drop back instead of putting him in his best natural position, which would be in the attack. Two
mhm,
years ago, 10 goals. The guy has 10 or 15 goals in him a season, but
yep,
he can't do that when he's worrying about defensive duties.
yeah,
And,
and
and the announcer today, watching the Man U derby, Manchester derby, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Manchester
It's
Derby, yeah,
it's still derby to me because an E does not sound like A, but whatever. But I was watching that and they were talking about how first they were talking about how Man City was using their fullbacks as wingbacks.
Here we go.
Then it started talking about how they were using all these players out of their position. And what team does that remind you of?
Arsenal.
That, yeah.
Yeah. So have we regressed due to overcoaching and control tactics? I'm tending to think, really, yes, you are correct. Um, Tom was getting tweaked about the Tony versus English language part 78. Yes, when is Derby with an E pronounced Derby? But it is. That's just the way it is. It's Derby. You know what I mean?
Derby County.
You just have to you get with the locals, Tony, or else you stick out like a sore thumb.
The one that bothers me the worst, it's like I'll do lift, I'll do boot, but I'm not calling a policewoman or a government female official mom. I don't care if how they try to say it's MHAM.
Hey,
It
if
sounds like mom when you're listening to it on the fucking TV.
whenever you get faced with a woman in that uniform, you're going to say, Mom, okay? You're going to say, Yes, Mom. Each and every time. The players have improved greatly over the last two seasons before this one, but Arteta is not. His management, his game day management is still subpar, and it's costing us.
Mhm.
I actually think this might be a dichotomy, right? Alonso, I'll go to you first, but I actually think that Mikel Arteta is progressing as a manager. But what I'm seeing is we're not being efficient and we're not taking our chances. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. To Rick's point about the setup, um, to be fair, I think Partey's been our best player.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arteta tries to do too much to please certain players to force them into certain 11.
Yeah.
I think, to me, why do you change things that work best for the club? For example, why is Jorginho playing ahead of Partey? Um, so why is Moreno starting whenever he hasn't been that great this year?
Hmm.
And you're just now playing Miles Lewis Kelly, and it's like he had a great game yesterday. I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying like, why can't you just stick to your lineup the way it is, you know? And why do you change things for rotation purposes whenever Hardy didn't play last weekend? So why aren't you playing him this weekend? You know,
Hmm.
Jorginho, they're two different players, but you know, it doesn't make any sense on why you got to force players in the lineup that don't deserve to be in there.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and why you taking off Udegaard whenever there's still plenty of time left to make things
yeah,
happen. So
yeah.
it's like I don't understand what Arteta's trying to do or prove.
Yeah, I mean it's a tough one when you're not getting the results as a manager because you're going to be second guessed, right? If you win games, if we win against Fulham, we win against Everton, we're 4 points closer to Liverpool now. Liverpool have walked in step with us against Newcastle and against Fulham yesterday, with draws as well. Actually, as we speak, Chelsea are playing right now with the door kind of wide open for Chelsea to, get closer to Liverpool where we had hoped to be. Yeah, but you're dead right, Alonso. And Declan Rice having an issue yesterday. Maybe he played on it, but he definitely had a slight injury where he had to come off. But the maddening one is Odegaard coming off with 30 minutes to go in the game. And Odegaard, yes, he missed some good presentable chances to us, such as he did against Monaco. But you need to keep players on the field that can produce something for you, creativity um, stances. You know what I mean? In a way, right? What chances did we not capitalize on? All I saw yesterday were half chances. I mean, Odegaard had a couple of chances in the first half, Stephen. So, and there's a couple of hesitant shots. um, he hit a couple. He hit at least one shot wide as well from the top of the penalty box. So we're not getting shots on target. Odegaard used to be Alonso. You always used to know Odegaard would get a shot on target when he arrived on that penalty spot, coming onto a ball, a cutback, or a ball played across to him.
Or at least he would make things happen by scoring a goal and or assisting. And you know, people say, well, you know, Kai Havertz should do more, score more. However, it's hard because you're not creativity. Your creativity hasn't been the best um this year as far as scoring goals. And like I said before, or like I mentioned before, like you see, this is where I have an issue with the left side of the pitch because you have to have everyone playing or everyone scoring like they did 2 years ago when you had Martinelli scoring and you had Bukayo Saka scoring, you had Granit Xhaka scoring, you had Udegaard scoring. Everyone was around the pitch doing something creative. And I don't have that because the left is so so it's missing something. And I think last year we got away with it because Rice was healthy, Udegaard was healthy, so you had a lot of dynamics still going on. But Martinelli wasn't scoring as much because he was hurt. So you had Trossard pick up the slack for him. However, this year you're not seeing a lot of people scoring as much,
Yeah.
and I think that's what's hurting. Maybe we'll get better in the second half like I did last year, but you
Mm,
know you're gonna have everyone have to score now to at least make a charge for the title. And right now you don't have that because Udegaard's been missing for so long that people had to overcompensate for him.
yeah.
And right now, the midfield is a mess, in my opinion. Therefore, you're not seeing as much goals scored by Havertz or Martinelli, or the only person that's doing something is Saka, or at least we're scoring from the set pieces.
Yep. Yeah. Uh, as Randy said, the Newcastle away defeat was a perfect blueprint of how to defend against Arsenal and shut things down. Um, and I have a couple of things to back up what you're saying here, Alonso, as well. So I'll get back to that in a second.
Can I do a quick
Yeah.
correction there?
Yeah.
We've actually scored 0 set pieces. We've scored corners, but
There's
no
a set
set
piece.
pieces.
Yeah, okay. He's disseminating a free kick from corner
All
kicks,
right.
but they are grouped together, Tony. Just so you know.
Not according to the Premier League.
Okay, all right. We'll just let that one slide, Alonso. The in one podcast here and at the other podcast here, right? Um,
Mhm.
Steven said the fact that all you can do is like for like subs and not do anything that affects its tactics and style is pathetic. And don't get me started on his taking Odegaard off. What's worrying about yesterday was that Everton never looked under pressure. As the game went on, they looked more and more comfortable defensively, and then Arteta's bizarre subs. And I saw a podcast where somebody said we didn't drive at them with players with the ball at our feet. The one time we had a questionable maybe decision that could have gone our way was when Partey drove into the box for that penalty incident, and it wasn't a clear cut enough um, decision for Paul Tierney to give it to Arsenal. It was one of those really where it could have gone either way, um, and that's what's worrying. We pumped a lot of balls into the box, and Everton, as you said, Alonso, Everton have been that team that have improved in the last 3 or 4 games. Liverpool's luck continues because Storm Dara um, postponed their game when maybe Everton would have been rubbing their hands at the thoughts of Liverpool coming there for the final Merseyside derby. There, I said it, derby. Um, but yeah, and we faced a Fulham side that were pretty decent. And when you look away, when the picture comes out and you look at it in entirety, the point at Fulham is not really what we needed. We wanted 3 points, but we did gain on last season. We lost there last
Mm.
season, and it's a point. It's one of those, Alonso. It's a point gained or a point lost at Fulham. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I think Marco Silva has done a good job with that team. I think Raul Jimenez has been known to be a striking nuisance, I guess, or scoring. He's one of those players that can get away with one here and there, and I think that team with Anthony Robinson, aka Jedi, uh, have been playing really well. So credit to him. I think that whole team is. I don't hate Fulham. They were a really good team, and they're good enough to stay up, obviously, and they're always going to be that mid-table team that usually fits.
Yeah, we're gonna get
So
teams
they've gotten better themselves. So
Yeah,
credit was credit due, but of course, us Arsenal fans will always want to win. And hopefully that draw these two games that will hopefully Arteta will learn from them and realize that he has to make the proper starting 11 and not fool around because in this day and age in the Premier League, teams are not going to sit back anymore. You would think that he learned that by now, but he I guess still hasn't. That he has to learn how to use his best 11. And rotate is fine, but you have to have confidence that they can do the job. And obviously, right now, I have no confidence in his decision making as far as picking a starting 11.
Mm.
And it's not like the youngsters had a bad game. It's just that we couldn't create enough, and Martinelli and others had to pick up the slack. And at what point do they do that?
yeah. BX said I saw a podcast where they said if they had a gun, they'd do that. Something that Arteta, that kind of talk is not helpful, especially in this day and age,
No,
or any time, but especially in this day and age where something like that can be
Hmm.
amplified. We should have left Jesus at Preston. That's where he found his level there. So yeah, Tony, you come back to what Alonso was saying. We're not scoring enough goals, but we're definitely right about where we need to be in terms of conceding. If you extrapolate what we have goals scored and goals against for this season, we're going to end up with 70 goals scored and 36 goals against. And that's not good enough to do anything this season. We're going to have to get get better at both ends of the pitch, but more specifically up front, Tony?
I still think so much of it's the tactics. The teams know what we're going to do, and they set up for it. And you can see if we have a lead at halftime, Arteta just puts the brakes on, and we set up defensively, and just there's one or two mental lapses, and there's a goal back in the net, and we're having another draw. What one correction I wanted to do from what you guys said Thursday about Everton? Yes, historically Everton has been an easy opponent for us, but within our Arteta's first 18 months with us, we lost more to Everton than his entire career at Everton.
Yeah.
And we've continued to struggle against Everton with Arteta.
In some ways, I know Arteta's been with us for probably 5 seasons. Coming up on the 19th of December here, I think it'll be his fifth year, coming into his 5th year at the club. We have struggled with Fulham in some cases, more recently, and we have struggled with Everton in the beginning of his tenure.
But it just seems like the entire, like I said, it seems like for over 20 years, it's like anytime Fulham's in the league, they're our bogey team.
Yeah. This is what I don't like about Arteta, is that he's starting to sound like Ten Hag. I mean, you as a manager in that display, you have to say we weren't efficient enough, we weren't creative enough, and you have to say we didn't take. Yes, there were half chances. We could have gotten out of there with a 1-0 win. Wasn't a ton of clear-cut chances, and that's due to the lack of creativity in the side and the lack of efficiency in the end. Welcome, Gary.
Hi, Gary.
Sir. Hey there, Tony. Hey there, Alonso.
I've switched places, Gary.
It's still not. It's not upside down, so it's tolerable. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I mean, if it was the right way up, you would be concerned with Tony. Yeah, like what's wrong? Is everything okay, Tony?
Exactly. You feeling okay? You seem to be standing upright today. What's happening? Yes.
So I don't know if you were listening a little bit, Gary. Probably were, to get up to speed. But what are your thoughts overall? We seem to have regressed in the last 4, 5, 6 games.
Yeah, I think we. I mean, at least for me, I think has Arteta learned anything? Has he prepared the team for what could happen? All right, I don't know. Yeah, no, I just I'm lost for words, because I'm like there's little things that he could do to better prepare this team, better put us in a position to succeed, and he's not doing it. He won't take any risks, so basically he's just asking for everything to be perfect defensively, and offensively, it's not helping him. So I don't think he's learning and getting better as a manager or a coach. Pick whichever one you want. How can the team that puts so much time into what looks like set pieces not put the same level of time into like open play football? All right, and it's gonna hurt him. This was a good year for us to push ahead and get better than what we did the previous year, and he hasn't done it. And injuries or suspensions, it doesn't matter. We still should be better off than we are.
So Gary, if I told you that we were leading in the big chance creation table so far this season, would you believe me?
And we do that, but then we're like, well, we need somebody who can finish. We've been saying this for years. Can we get finishers?
We've covered this before, Ray, and corner kicks count as chances and big chances created, which skews things.
Yeah, well, that's what the stats are saying. Big chance creation 2024-25, Arsenal leading with 44. Liverpool are on 43. Aston Villa on 42. So Aston Villa is another team that's underperforming their chance creation. Chelsea are being efficient with 40. And Tottenham are even getting 39. Tottenham are fifth in the table with chance creation. City. We just seen what happened to City. What is happening to City? They're falling off a cliff. Is Pep going to give up? Is he going to walk away? You know what I mean? It's crazy what's going on in the league right now. We're this league season. We've beaten Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have beaten Liverpool. Nottingham Forest had a good result yesterday. Can't remember who they beat in the end.
Do you think City's sitting there trying to rescind their contract extension of an extra year for?
It'll be interesting. I tweeted it'll be interesting to see what happens with Pep Guardiola. He's the kind of manager who's been used to having it his own way, with sprinkles, cream, and a cherry on top, as well. And it's not going his way right now.
But it's so much more than injuries. It's just like it's just tactics. It's just everything's just weird.
They also tweeted the Rodri effect, the Rodri butterfly effect. The guy comes in playing the Rodri role, and he's the one who gives away the penalty in the end. Gives away the ball. He doubles down, Gary. He gives away the ball, and then he gives away the penalty.
So is the way we see that all the time, right? The defender makes a mistake and it tries to recover and forgets that sometimes where you are in the pitch, and sometimes, you know what, I might as well just make sure they can't get anything out of this, and they punish himself twice. So yeah. Now, I didn't get to see that penalty. I mean, I heard there were a couple of penalty calls out in the game, could have gone to both teams. So I think if that's the case, it's a wash on the ones that didn't get called. But United was really the aggressor late in that game, trying to get something out of it. And City usually controls it enough that you think they're going to finish it off, but they don't got that anymore. They don't have that, whatever it is that they need.
Yeah.
Ray, I felt on that one, if it was anywhere else on the pitch, it probably wouldn't have been called as a foul, because it just that's a other player clips his own foot on the back there.
Okay. All right. I'll have to look. I'll have to check the tape again. That's what all the pros say. I didn't see that incident. I'll have to check. I'll have to watch it on the rerun. Alonso, let's talk about the game yesterday and the selection, right? I was very genuinely happy with the selection of the team. Gabriel Magalhaes comes back, and Miles Lewis-Skelly, who had, performed against Monaco quite well, comes in at left back for me.
Yeah, I was pretty pleased about how Arteta is finally using our youngsters. I think if they're playing good, there's no reason why they shouldn't be playing all the time. And I think that's the struggle with Nawari is like, he's talented, so why not you play him a full 90 minutes for once just to see what happens. And I think Arteta's afraid to take that risk most of the time because he sees it where if these youngsters play and they mess up, then they'll be blamed for the loss. Which I think that's why Arteta doesn't take that risk. I was watching on Gary's show yesterday with Tom, and I was in chat, and we were saying, where's Moreno at? Because his name hadn't got called, or he had disappeared from the match. It seems like because he was not getting any touches.
Yeah.
Even I realized that. So he was playing as well as Martinelli and Havertz and Saka and Odegaard and Rice at the number 6. And when we bought Declan Rice, or when he was on Arsenal, originally I thought that he was number 6, not number 8. So he had so much of a good season last year at number 8. Arteta just decided to use him there. So I thought it was a good lineup, right? And Tony and Gary, that we should have won that game. However, something's missing, and I don't know what it is, but scoring goals most importantly, and we ended up drawing against Everton. So it just sucked.
Yeah. This is this is one of the results, Tony, that I was fearing. Who's going to blink first? Well, City have blinked when they drew against Palace. Palace are a dangerous team, though, and we've got Palace next. We play Palace twice, and we need to beat them twice in the cup and in the league. But Everton's one of those teams in the bottom of the table. You can't drop points to teams in the bottom of the table, especially at home, Tony.
And what's funny, if you look at the stats, we had 75.6% of a possession. They had no shots on goal, two shot attempts. We had five shots on goal and 13 shots. So given that, we should have came up with something. But like Riddy said, it's like Arteta doesn't. It's just there's no creativity allowed to be on a team, and I think I've said it year after year. That's what kills them. You see the difference between he lets the players decide what they want to do in the corners, and I think that's why they get pumped up and excited.
I don't think he lets the players decide very much, honestly.
You don't think so when Gabriel comes to Saka and Odegaard.
No, these are things that are drilled. These are things that are drilled on the training ground in practice.
Yeah, but they're still the ones calling what pass, what where to cross it to, what he's gonna do on it.
Well, because he might be the quarterback. So Tony, he might be the quarterback on the field. He might be telling the players what set play they want to look at. You look at what the defense gives you, and not to go too much American football here, right? But you look at what the defense gives you, and Gabriel is probably telling them, "This is what we want. This is the play we want to be in terms of set play on a corner."
I still say it's being creative.
The players are not making up. They're not making up their set pieces when it comes to corner kicks.
Hey, it's not micromanage like everything else is. You're having these three players deciding what to do.
Yeah, I mean, in American football, you have three players who are deciding what to do, right? Gary, am I speaking double Dutch here?
Yeah.
Does it make sense what I'm saying?
You are your Eagles fan.
None of you guys are making any sense because you're talking.
Well,
every time you
actually,
open up the mouth,
I shouldn't be asking the Cowboy
sense.
fan. I should be asking the Eagle fan.
Oh,
yeah,
Eagle fan, whatever. No, we're gonna say get well soon to Mr. Bungle.
Yes,
I don't know if you guys saw in his chat. He's in the hospital. Hopefully,
100%.
Hope you get out of there quickly. Yeah, but I
feel better. Get well soon, Mr.
Tony started talking, and then I kind of like went nonsense.
But then they call him out on it. So yeah, Tony said that players go out and don't have a plan when they're on the field.
Yeah. If he said that on set pieces, right, which we're like considered one of the best in the world, right? So like at any time, and then whenever the team puts up, they try to change things on us, we just change it up again. So for me, I think we are really good at set pieces in the sense that yes, everybody gets them, but we seem to be doing better. I think we spend enough time on it, and we have. Let me finish.
One second.
And we have
write it down.
And we have answers to anything people put up there because that's what consistently people complain about it, right? We went through a little cycle where we weren't scoring them, but voila, next thing you know, bang bang, we score, right?
Yeah.
When I was sitting tied for top of the league in set pieces and stuff like that. So it's always in the back pocket. It's always the break glass. We always have that option, if we're having a bad day in the field. But for me, we need to get better at what we do in open play. So if we can do that on set pieces, why can't we do something like we don't even have to be like perfect in the open field setup and whatever the request is of the players, but we have to do better than what we've been doing over the last year. So Yeah, no,
And
you should have some. Who is our offensive assistant coach? Who is teaching these guys how to build up play, how to get in positions for shooting opportunities, how to get prepared for shooting opportunities.
yeah,
You know, think outside the box if you have to, but also, take advantage of what the defense gives you. Right? We don't seem to do any of that. So
the
yeah,
real the real person to key in on here will be Ethan Waneri, who joined the team with that fresh perspective of shooting on side. If he becomes curtailed by our coaching, that's something to watch out for with Mikel Arteta. It's not something I want to see. I want to see more creativity on the field as well. Listen, I believe we've got the players to do it. We did it. We've done it the last 2 seasons, and like I said, we're tracking to only score 70 goals this season, whereas the last 2 seasons we hit 88 and 91. To be 20 goals off so far this season, to be tracking 20 goals off, that's a lot of points that we're going to leave on the board. That's a lot of points we have left on the board already. We've dropped 16 points this season already, and we're tracking to concede 36 goals, where the last 2 seasons it was 43 and 29. We improved greatly last season, but have we become too controlled? You know what I mean? Have we been stifled too much? Steven said we're easy to defend against. We're unbalanced because of the inverted left back, which kills the left, so teams can ignore it and concentrate on our right. I do think that Miles Lewis-Skelly could be that perfect fit at left back. Maybe not perfect, but the best one so far, because he is a midfielder, but he could be coached into being a defender as well.
I still feel like it's Timber on the left.
Yeah, but Ben White is out for the next 4 to 6 weeks, right? We're not going to see Ben White till the end of January, so we need to solve this puzzle, Tony.
I'm sure we'll see Partey there some more.
Player, Arteta's stubbornness and not being able to adapt is terrible. Inverted isn't the be all and end all. He needs to learn to switch it up. Yeah. Why do we have Sterling on the bench but he doesn't get an appearance in 4 games? Wow. Tottenham are leading 4-0. Okay. I need a Brentford goal. Exactly, BX. I need a Brentford goal as well. My spell check is killing me. 14-year-old iPhone, Mr. BX. Fix up, man. Fix up. Southampton really need to go. What's that? Flatulate themselves?
oh come on, you can't read now. You can't read. You didn't want to say that word.
There you go.
Sorry.
Take a leaf out of your book.
It wasn't even that. You like just. It was still a rude word to say.
That's a better
Right.
rude word. Flatulate.
Okay.
Arteta's best chance to salvage the season now is in the League Cup. If he throws that away, God help him then. Yeah, listen, I'm
He
sort of
can't.
on.
He cannot drop out of anything because of what we've seen in the past. That he didn't give it the attention it needs. We can't go into playing Crystal Palace twice. We have to play with our strongest lineup in both games. Right? There's
Yep.
no we'll save this person. No. Every game is important to us. We need to get a string of wins. We haven't been able to do that in 3 Premier League games in a row. We've not yet done that for a while. All right.
Yeah.
We need to get back to winning ways and winning multiple games.
And let me
Winning
tell
3
you.
in a row is a start, but we got to start
Yep.
all over again now.
Crystal Palace are no mugs. Let me tell you that, Tony. Crystal Palace are no mugs at all. They've got a good system. They got good players, and they won't be afraid to have a go at Arsenal in the cup.
And they got me 10 points.
And they got you 10 points as well. Anything else to say on Crystal Palace? And I'll go to Alonso.
No, they're. I think they were either third or fourth, and we were third or fourth on the form table right now. Even as bad as we've been lately, the other teams have been as bad or as worse, and it's all grouping up to me, I'm not sure if that's gonna be more like the 2016 season where you just have like end up with two teams taking off and they're still just low point totals throughout because Arsenal and Leicester didn't end up getting that many points that year. Or a year later, they're like 6 teams stacked up right by each other within 4 or 5 points. And it seems that way now because, like, first, third, 10th, there's not much separation.
Yeah. Listen, I think that the league race, the title race, will be what I called for a couple of seasons ago is more participation, more teams involved in order to peg City back. City are doing that by themselves now, but looks like Chelsea, and looks like I might have had the old commentators touch in this one. When I started talking about Chelsea, Cucurella has scored, if I'm not mistaken, from what I'm seeing in the chat. Gary, Eddie's revenge is coming. We can't escape it. 2 games.
He's not. He's like hurt. He didn't even. He's not. He wasn't even on the bench last time they played, or was he on the bench today? I don't even know. But
Steven said after watching Palace today, we will not beat the way they're playing. We will not beat them the way we're playing. We have to. We might as well pack up our sticks, pack up our tent, and go home. Put some dirt over that campfire and go home if we can't beat Crystal Palace in a cup game in a quarterfinal as well. Yeah. And this is what Jurgen Klopp used to do. This is what his teams used to do. If they could not beat Man City in the league, they would make sure they could go ahead and be competent and move forward in cup competitions. After watching Eddie and Balogun, who else can we sell from our squad? And we got a few more contenders. Gabriel Jesus would be the prime contender. What do you think? So yeah, Crystal Palace, that will not be a game that we can take lightly on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. Cucurella with a goal, and Chelsea are going well. This league is not. I'm going to say it now. We go past a gap of potentially 9 points, and then we can forget about it. If this gets into double digits, forget about it. But once Liverpool have been faltering the last 2 games, 3-3 against Newcastle, and they're held together by the play of one player mainly, Mo Salah.
And we are not, right?
We are not.
Both the things you just mentioned, you can say about Arsenal.
You could.
Two draws in a row. Saka dominating our play because
our issue, Tony, is scoring goals. Liverpool's issue is leaking goals. In those draws, our issue has been scoring goals. I heard that some of our fans turned in one area yesterday. Absolutely disgusting. Some of our fans. It's the expectation. This team, we want this for our team, for us.
But I just don't get why either Mourinho didn't go off or when Rice came on, why.
That's right.
Odegaard had to go out there.
Yeah. If we score 20 goals less than last season, if we get Champions League, no, I think you can still get top 4.
Look, Tom got attacked by blue paintballs again.
Wait a minute. This isn't the Jackal Maxon Society.
All right, kick him out. Ray, kick him out. Kick him out. He's already started with the nonsense.
You have the controls as well, Gary.
No. This is your show. I don't go in your show and start kicking people out. But that guy needs to go.
What did he do?
He opened his mouth. Didn't you hear it?
It was not objectionable to me.
It was terrible in my ears.
Tom is a very dear friend of mine.
I'm sorry to hear that.
He actually pronounces Derby the correct way.
Yeah. Unlike the American way, the incorrect way.
You guys should
the
spell it the way
American
it's. You should sound it out the way it's spelled instead of like saying it's a Derby, but it's spelled Derby. I don't know. I don't get that.
I mean, you're talking yourself into being wrong further. Like I don't even really need to speak at this point.
You're talking about you say you speak English, but you spell words and you pronounce them differently. I get it. All right.
Old English.
Wait a minute. This isn't Chicken City.
Do you call it a derby hat or do you call it a derby hat?
Gary, I think you should start spelling the Derby as in Derby. Put an A in there instead of the E.
Sorry, really, Ali Briguno, he makes a great point. Ray, this is a Premier League podcast.
Well, listen, all we have to do is ratify Leeds' entry into the Premier League. You can't fail from here, right? There's no way you can. There's no way Leeds can mess it up, right, Tom?
I mean, to be fair, I mean, you talk about Leeds United, and there is April in the calendar, so there's still time. But you're also forgetting the most important rule of the whole thing.
You got it.
I don't give a fuck what this is. I'm coming on it. Other than that, obviously, thank you for the invitation, Ray. In all seriousness, Alonso, get your ass back on the internet. I'm not your secretary, sir.
Thanks, man.
That sounds like
he has several. You are one of many secretaries.
How many secretaries you got, Alonso?
If you have Tom, Sam, that's about it.
Tony.
I appreciate hard work, Tom.
Thank you.
Alonso's the guy who passed notes in classroom.
No, that's you and Tony, Tom. That's you and Tony, right?
What? If Chelsea finish above Arsenal, that'll be a kick in the balls.
No, Tom, I do appreciate it, Tom. Thanks, man.
Hey, Gary's sitting there with the look of a man who's upset that I've come in and turned this into time.
Yeah, it's just like, dude, you have your own channel to go mess up.
To be fair,
and I'll mess up about 8 different channels. I don't care. I'll do them all one by one. In fact, I won't even tell you the time. You can just randomly find out. But that's funny. That's funny.
Did you play Preston?
Of course we played Preston, and of course we didn't beat Preston.
Oh,
to be fair, okay. There's extenuating circumstances. Those circumstances, number one, we brought Patrick Bamford on, which is already admitting you're not wanting a win.
You didn't have Eddie Nketiah, right?
That's true as well.
We will loan you
for Leeds at Preston.
We
can't loan them Nketiah. Sorry, I wish we could.
Do you want Nketiah 2.0? We can give you Gabriel Jesus.
Well, from the sounds of it, you don't want Gabriel Jesus. So
no. You're missing what he said. He said he wants you to have him. That's it. That's all he said.
Yeah, no. Because in my mind, that means you don't want him for a reason, which is obviously based on being a footballer.
You know why?
More quality.
You know why you can have Gabriel Jesus? Because he will score against Preston.
Gary said you can have Jesus. And
he has scored against Preston.
And Zinchenko.
I'll give you 4 players. Yes, 4 players.
Here's a gentleman of fine moral character in the chat who's basically telling everyone the real truth that Gary is waffling.
And you know what?
He is waffling.
I'm not waffling. What I waffle at?
Waffling and hatred as well.
And what is the damn Bronco? What is a Bronco doing from VA? What is VA? Whatever.
I mean, I can't explain that
guy also speaks nonsense. He's got, you know what? He's also got the he's got the Tom. You know, it's contagious. It just creates.
You have nonsense. You have a legion against you, Gary.
It could be Veterans Affair. It could be Virginia.
The fifth column.
It could be left in out of van. I mean, it could be.
In V, this is known as the fifth column.
My favourite bit of this that no one really picked up on, in my opinion, is when Gary went, he has the Tom, as in like there's a disease that I've given.
It is
Bronco. Like,
you know what?
They a disease to people.
Yes.
Yes, that is true.
I picked up what you were putting down, Gary. I thought it was very good, personally.
You're a smart lad.
So, Tom, are you
Not
staying
hyper
for a
moment.
little bit, or is this a transient visit?
I'll stay for as long as it makes Gary uncomfortable.
It's like, yeah, well, it's well, I'm
Well,
uncomfortable.
that should be for the
Bye.
whole duration.
I'm uncomfortable. See you later. Have fun with the rest of your day.
We'll
You know, you're
we'll
running
give
out of
him
Pepsi. You should go make a Pepsi run.
we'll give him to the top of the hour. He'll have 1 hour to prepare for his show, and he needs all of that time.
I've done. It's always set up. It's set up. I was listening to the first part of your show while I was doing it. Incredible. You know what? In all seriousness, I was sitting there thinking, should I go on like the 500th show with Gary? I'm like, yeah, why not? Look how happy he's made him.
Have you got like notches and diagonals to mark off your 500 show? Is it on the wall there somewhere? Scratched.
I'm probably underplaying it if we're truth, but you know.
Did Ray and Gary turn off their heat in the house?
It's called living in the Northeast, man. I can, you know what? I can put on a $50 hoodie, or I can spend like $1,000 a month on heat.
Yeah.
$50 hoodie every time.
Incredible.
Or, my house is old, so
I don't have a couch. I don't have a couch good enough for the setting, Spencer. So I will sit here.
Tom missed what you were saying about my jacket earlier.
Oh yeah. When you can see, imagine you can visualize Tony in the correct setting. Right there, you go. Right.
With the phone
He looks
right
like
round. Okay.
he looks like he's part of a boy band about to put out his Christmas single.
That is a terrible band. I am not
called,
buying those. I
The
am
band
not.
is called
That's
No Direction.
exactly no direction. That sounds like a good one. We like to take things and put it on the side. You know what I mean? And
Actually,
once in a while we get crazy. We just go upside down on you.
Every
But,
Direction.
yeah.
The band should be called Every Direction. Tom can stay as long as he respects Alonso. There you go.
You just scared him off.
And he's back.
Fuck off, Alonso! No, I'm joking. Sorry.
Alonso just wanted
I'm
to
doing
be
this.
on the same level as you, Tom. That's what that was.
That's fine. That's fine.
I'm just ready for Tom to go Indiana Jones and start doing this whatever tongues of a guy was talking out, and then he just
All right.
rips
Let
out
me
my heart.
let me get not to hog Tom for too much because he's very expensive. These 10 minutes are going to cost me a lot of blue M&Ms in the mail. But what is your outside, maybe not outside perspective of Arsenal this season, Tom?
Most of my feeling on Arsenal, and I don't think a lot of you are going to like it, is the fact is I feel like you had your chance to actually win the big one, and you didn't. And don't get me wrong, I know already Riddy is now typing, well, you had a chance to get promoted, you didn't. I know I didn't. I fucking watched it, Riddy. I fucking watched it. I saw us, we fouled. I tell you that. What else can you say? I fouled. My team fouled. My team sucked. They suck slightly less now, but they're still probably going to foul because it's Leeds United ultimately. But anyway, the fact of the matter is you still support them. But but in all seriousness, I do genuinely think your club had its chance to win the big one, like the Premier League, and you had multiple chances actually, but obviously some were like you actually had a lead, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I still think you'll do well just to get top four, so because then you can have a crack at it again. That's funny how the Premier League works. That unless you finish in the bottom three, you're fine. Ultimately, despite your high expectations, you are fine.
Yes, there are levels to this.
Mm.
About how many places? About 22 places right now, something like that, right?
Yeah,
maybe a little less. You know what I mean? Ray's question is about Arsenal this season. I think, yeah, that's what I was. I think he might have answered it in that respect. You know what I mean?
I did.
Yeah, I thought you did as well. All right, so Gary, is it are Arsenal not taking the chances? That's what it is this season, right?
Yeah, same thing last season. Same thing the season before.
Are we
That was
are
just
we
happening a lot
creating enough?
earlier. Huh?
Are we not creating enough chances? Clear
We are
cut
definitely
chances?
not creating enough chances. We I mean I feel like we need to have 20 chances for us to get something out of a game these days. We've won with 12 and 13 chances and shots in a game, but I think the chances are the key thing, and I don't think we're getting good enough chances to score. So yeah, that's on us. Yeah, no, we don't have we're not nobody's more clinical than they were last year. Maybe Saka is. He might be the only one that's more clinical than anybody.
Yeah,
That he's improved consistently over the last. This will be his fourth year in a row improving on the offensive side. Not one of our players, in my eyes, has improved year on year.
Gabriel, he's already got
Well,
3 headers.
you know what? I don't really. That's like almost saying Saka's defense has improved over the last 4 years. That's not something I'm going to highlight. Okay.
Those 3 goals have been important, Gary.
No, I know, but that's not when we talk about
yeah,
people improving offensively. That we don't talk about our center back. All right, that's not what we do.
yeah.
If we
Tony,
do, then we're in trouble.
Tony Spencer
Ye-
says, Tony, focus now.
Yeah.
Spencer says the 3 games with red cards, Odegaard injury, and fullbacks getting hurt, getting out of the
All right,
shot.
excuses again. We can't be making excuses. We knew going in that we needed to be better at pretty much everything from
Yeah.
previous years, and
But
that meant playing
it's hard
without
to
our
overcome,
starters.
though. You know, it's hard to
Yeah, but
overcome.
No,
you
it's
got
not.
you have to plan for that. You can't say last year we lost a Premier League because
Uh,
was out, and then the next year go, guess what? I will not replace that and make sure I have some for us when Saliba is out.
oh,
You cannot say, guess what? We can go a 3-game
what's
stretch where we
Greg?
can't get the timely scores that we need, and then the next year not go out and get somebody who can create timely scoring. Right? These are all things that have happened over the last 2 seasons. We've not gotten better on either one. We don't have a real backup to Saliba. Right? We don't have players that can can put balls in the net when we need them. All right? We don't have that. And that's been a question for many, many years. So yeah, no.
Gary, you're not losing it now, right? Are you?
I'm just speaking what I believe is my truth.
But to go on what he said there,
We should be sponsoring this section of the show.
I mean, you already
Get
have like
sponsorship.
you already have like 6 left backs that can also play center backs. You go out, spend 45 million for another one instead of getting a backup for Odegaard. If you have a backup for Odegaard, then you don't lose anything away. He was gone. You could also play Nwaneri there, but
He was the de facto Odegaard. It was just not intended for him to play 7 or 8 games straight through an injury of Odegaard's injury. You know, that was not intended or planned for. You know what I mean?
Could have,
and
but
this
he
is
didn't.
Alonso. Is this? I'm looking at where we are so far. This comes as poor planning from the summertime transfer window. Whereas in previous summers, we seem to have had a plan to go out and get the players we needed. This summer, it looked like it wasn't complete.
Yeah, because we rather spend money on the back line or midfield, and as you see, Moreno probably is lost in midfield. Calafiori has been hurt probably for a lot of the time he's been asked to play. So, we could have spent money on a striker, maybe on another winger, but it just hasn't worked out. And you could blame Adu for waiting so long to maybe buy Marino. Maybe you could have blamed the lack of recruitment. Um, we didn't need to buy. We didn't need to buy put a lot of money in a striker. There's strikers out there that cost less and is more successful in putting goals in net. But it is how it is in football, where you have to, in order to get the best known player, footballer, that's going to cost money. It's not my money to spend. However, I think we spent on want and not need. Kai Havertz does score goals, but not on a consistent level.
Hmm.
My opinion, the reason why there's not a goal scored is because there's lack of creativity. So whether or not Arteta builds on that, whether it be change of formation or what, it's up to him to decide who's going to create more on this team currently. So right now, it's just I don't understand why I could put 3 against Monaco and yet score no goals against Everton.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to figure it out quickly because they're gonna have to buy in January to make things better. Otherwise, they're just gonna stay stuck. And you can only do so much in coaching, where these players have to learn or try to do new ideas because they're the ones playing on the pitch.
Yeah. As Rady said, I've been listening to Martin Keown's biography. Even during his time in ours, so the club always fell a player short in the market when it was required. Gary, we're definitely going to need to go into the market in January and get it forward.
Yeah, so Mikel has already said, January or whatever, it's not, going to be busy. So he's already, I mean, at least he's saying it. We'll see if they change things around, but I don't know how he can look at his squad and go, well, we're all right. We don't need it. I mean, hopefully that's just all for show, and that's just not reality, because the reality is you're missing some pieces, and then and you don't have answers for them. At least you're not showing us if you have the answers, right? So
Yeah.
we need more goals, and we're not going to get it from the current squad. I mean, we have more than enough. We have more than enough coverage in the defensive side of the ball. Like, no matter how many players have been out, our defense has still been solid. So that is not a question. He's been able to find a way to make it work with all the players that we had defensively. Offensively, we have basically 2 players, and then everybody else is a question mark. Right? I mean, some people will say Havertz is not. Like for me, right? Saka and Erdogan might be some answers to the offensive question, and Havertz once in a while he is, but in reality not. I mean, Trossard, Martinelli, Jesus,
Not cutting the mustard.
they're not the answers to the question when we say when we need to score goals, who's going to help us do that? And Wary could be an answer, but I don't think Arteta's given him the confidence and the trust. And we saw that yesterday. I mean, he comes in and his first touch usually is a shot. He came in yesterday. His first touch was a tackle, and then that was basically what he did for most of that 30 minutes that he played. Didn't take one shot. He didn't take one shot. We need a goal, and in where he's the only player I know that can just make something out of nothing. Didn't even get to take one shot in that game. That's not going to work.
Tom, I went having a bug where I was upside down to now having.
I already regret my question.
Why in the world are you talking to him, Tony?
He asked me a question.
No. Why? No, I'm asking you why you talking to him. I'm not asking you what he did.
I can talk to who I want to.
I'm just trying to help you out here.
Right?
If you want to go down that road, all right, go on.
Why do we feel Tony's camera is perpendicular? Maybe we're the ones who are.
Yeah, Tony's world is different from everybody else's.
We're all lopsided.
We're not aligned with Tony. Get with the program. Eye drops. Yeah. We've got tougher away games coming up. Palace, Brentford, Brighton. Arteta needs to find some answers soon.
I'm at the 38th parallel, so I'm not sure
Okay,
what position I should be in. Should I be sideways or upside down?
Yeah. Listen, we have tough game. We have tough games coming up. Okay. Palace away from home is going to be tough in the cup. We play them. Yeah, we played them in the league away. Brentford. we want Brentford to be playing well right now against Chelsea, and Brighton will be tough. But these are the kind of games that if you want to win hardware or silverware, you need to go and win those kind of games, And Preston on a cold night in February. It's not
Oh,
easy to win.
there you go with the fucking weather again, right? That means we're dropping points.
It's a saying. It's a saying. They say
It's not
cold
a
night.
saying, Ray.
Cold
Every
night in
time you
Preston is
mention-
like a cold night in Leeds.
The actual saying is cold night in Stoke.
Yeah, I what did you say? Oh, don't worry about it. I don't care.
But
Real
we are
saying,
the new
real
Stoke.
saying, Gary. The real
But
saying.
we are the new
Real-
Stoke, apparently.
That's
You know what I mean?
funny you say that because I've actually got quite a few memes for my show, which actually conclude with the fact that Arsenal are the new Stoke,
Slag.
and
I
that
mean-
as well.
I just want to say hi to Stefan Slag. How's it going, pal?
When you are at a certain level, you will get those detractors from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I've got them everywhere, even as far as New Jersey. I love it, Gary. I get Gary to break his character. It's brutal.
So are all those? So
Hey, Gary, it's okay to laugh, Gary.
So are all?
I don't
those
like
cars-
him.
So you don't
Lonzo.
really like him, or you just
No,
it's
I
just
don't
a
like him.
facade?
No.
Ray,
What is his name again? I don't know. Don't worry
Gary, I
about it.
thought you
don't
liked
really know that.
everybody.
Ray,
I don't like him.
Ray,
Tony,
I have a
No, he doesn't
question
even
for
get a
you, Ray.
name anymore. I'm just calling it that guy.
I
The wee
have a
man.
question for you, Ray.
I'm like Tottenham.
Yeah, you
Wow,
have
I've done really well
you
here.
have lowered yourself to that level.
Tony, I'm
Ray-
listening.
Hey,
Ray,
Tom.
did the wee man unleash this
Oh, wow.
barrage of car-sized drones that are flying over New Jersey? Are they trying to track Gary's
Ah,
moment by moment
Ray.
location?
Hey Gary, I didn't authorize Tony to get creepy on this situation. I must say.
Anytime
Hey,
he opens his
hey,
mouth, I
Ray.
never know what's going to come out, and there we go.
Right, I have a question.
How the
I have-
fuck is that any different than
Jesus Christ,
Tom?
man.
I'm listening,
Right.
Alonzo.
So I have a question for Tom. Seeing how me and Tom haven't had a chance to do a podcast together, I wonder how our old friend Michael Jackson is doing.
No, don't
This is,
do it.
you're like now you want to get on the bad
He's
side
playing,
of me now.
isn't he?
Don't you dare go away. You
He's
stay
playing
here,
right
wee
now.
man.
I'm considering using the little boys' room, but
Yes,
but no.
Tom, thank you so much.
but
A little voice.
no, I think
You know what? That
I
in
do
itself
think-
is the reason why you should be kicked. You know what? YouTube, that right there is rude and should get people canceled.
It's rude.
This is why I'm canceled.
It's a little.
He's trying to get canceled.
I've already been canceled, Tony.
5-0 Tottenham.
All I will say is basically anytime Gary does anything that basically implies that I'm hurting his existence, it actually powers me. It fuels me, and it means that I don't have to eat another buffet because that's my real buffet. Is Gary's pain.
Well, you're gonna be full for the rest of the year then, because yeah.
So
I mean, look, there's only 2 weeks of it left, sir.
I don't. I can't. Yeah. It's yuck.
But TV show What We Do in the Shadows. They're this energy vampire. So that must be what Tom is. He just gains that energy from getting the reactions from Gary. Tom's looked this way for 278 years.
I kind of did lay Tony up for that, didn't I? Like, I can't blame any.
I don't even know what
my
that
fault.
meant. Anybody translate for me? What?
TV show about vampires and they feed
Tom
off
is a
people's
vampire.
energy. Apparently, I'm a vampire. Which actually coincides with the law that Ray unintentionally created when he went, Tom didn't invent football in a discussion, to which because he felt the need to say it actually did give credence. I may have actually invented the rules of football.
I said that.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I believe would have been a couple of years ago.
It's very
But it
unlike me. Tom.
There was a site. Someone said the word. Let me try and get it. It was like the striker. I was saying how the striker cannot put the defender in his pocket. That was it. As I was saying, only the defender can pocket the striker. The striker can't carry the defender in his pocket. He's too busy scoring goals, making the defender look like a fool. He ain't got defender in his pocket. That's weird. But then to which that obviously then led to like a big discussion about it in the comments. I'll say big discussion between about 4 people. But let's be fair, for us that's massive. To which Ray basically interjected to kill the discussion dead, and then basically went, Tom didn't invent the rules of football. To which I took it as, but you're implying that I might have, because you're questioning it.
But
I've never forgotten.
No, it wasn't a question. It was a statement, apparently.
Watching the Manchester Derby, I think Holland and Haaland, I think both of them had each other in their pocket.
Yeah, you make no sense.
Who's Colin?
Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. I'm trying to create the filter. The filter just isn't working today, people. Sorry.
Did you not see them two battling the whole game?
I just want to go at you. That's all. So
Yeah.
Wow.
Tom, I think
Please, Rick.
I mentioned a little bit earlier, Tom, is this not a crazy Premier League season so far?
In what context do you mean it?
City so far off the pace. Nottingham Forest up there, Chelsea up there.
I actually think it simultaneously proves that cheaters never prosper, but then cheaters who prospered by actually sending Leeds United down do prosper, because Nottingham Forest are doing really well, even though they broke multiple rules to actually, they overspent money they shouldn't have spent, but no one cares about that because it never actually impacted the top of the Premier League until now. Quite frankly, I think Leicester can go fuck themselves as well. Gary's nodding because he knows what's coming. Basically, I'm gonna list all 92 of my enemies in
grievances.
92? You're cutting back. What are you getting old? You just like the 92 sounds like a low number.
I think he's warming up for that Festivus podcast.
Oh man, Festivus is my favourite episode of the Stoop. I basically just, like a porn star, I get to unload verbally on everything.
I will not be tuning in for that. Then
you absolutely should. You should, but you should probably put a condom over your ear. Anyway, sorry, what?
That was Spider-Man with the wrong type of shooters.
I said what I said.
All right, let's bring it back to Arsenal a little bit more, and then we'll get out of here. Right?
Tom, do you know how to?
We've had enough time for now.
It's Tom time. There's a secret about Tom time, Ray. It's Tom time all the time.
Yeah.
Only in your basement.
You know what? Ray, what are you doing?
Oh my God, Ray's the best. The best.
Only time it's not Tom time.
I am unknowledgeable in the ways of the Tom.
You know what? Keep that information to yourself. Don't put it out there. You know what? People have been arrested for less, and that is a lot.
A lot more goes on the trip than I actually thought happened.
I don't know what you're talking about. None of that. Whatever you're
okay.
No, whatever you're talking about, I don't know. No.
Other than that, 38 seconds a day, every time's Tom time.
First thing comes the denials, and then the truth comes out in the end. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Oh, Gary's the best. I'm so pleased he's here. I've never been more happy to see Gary. Sad.
I don't know who you are. Stop talking to me, please.
You don't know who he is, but
I don't know who he is. Just don't talk to me anymore, please.
Tom, you should probably go get prepared for your podcast.
Yeah, go do something else. Please leave us alone.
Give yourself enough time to get a cup of tea and a bag of crisps.
Listen, I can absolutely respect the fact that Ray's politely trying to get rid of me, and he's regretting instantly his offer to do you want to come on the show, Tom, because I asked for the link on behalf of Alonso.
Well, I believe.
To which I was thinking, you are going to regret this decision.
I believe the secretary should come with the boss.
Tom, you're welcome, Tom.
I just expected you to be dressed better.
Can we have Gary check for all timers because he's on like 5 or 6 shows with Tom? Now he's saying he doesn't know
All
who
right.
this man is.
Here's the thing, right? I have to leave. I have to leave very soon, and I would have had.
You have to leave YouTube. You are terrible at this thing. What are you?
I had to leave. I have to leave right pretty soon after the end of the podcast. I have to leave. So, in terms of changing and moving things around, I've decided to keep everything in here. Yes, it's a cooler room, as in colder room, and I am suitably attired. I'm not like Alonso sitting in 79-degree heat. It's actually cool here. Not real cold, but cool. You know what I mean? And so Gary and I are dressed similarly. Tony has to shoot a boy band video for Christmas right after this as well. That's why Tony's dressed up in a nice white top, a nice white angelic top.
Oh, because the Eagles shirt, right?
And Alonso's repping the Eagles shirt as well. So, and there is no sporting coverage of anything Alonso wants to watch right now. So that's why he's here with us right now.
A certain Martin Truex Jr.'s career's ended, so there was that as well.
Is he dead?
No, he retired, Tom.
He retired
enough.
At the age of what, 27?
No, 44, I think.
Wow.
In NASCAR years,
So I'm not living in
my retirement. I'd like to announce my retirement at the age of 278, according to Tony.
Do you want to announce who your new driver is? Alonso, or you know, wait until February.
It's between two of them. It's between Chase Briscoe and Chase Briscoe and or Tyler Reddick.
Chase.
Let the chat box decide, Alonso.
Chase Briscoe sounds like a
Chase or Tyler. I think you should do Chase because he's going to be doing a lot of chasing.
Well, no. So, Chase Briscoe has actually taken over from Martin Truex Jr.'s number 19 Toyota Camry TRD for Douglas Racing.
You like that one, Tom?
It was.
So, really, Martin Truex Jr. is probably fishing with Dale Earnhardt Jr. at this moment.
I feel like Alonso didn't hear me, though.
I heard you, right? It just kind of upset me a little bit. It's just like
all right, so it's going to be Tyler then.
I'm so sorry.
They both got Toyotas, right? So it's just
Tom. I would have been this funny without you today. You know,
there's a video.
You're not that funny. I don't understand what do you think is going on here. You're not funny at all.
Hey, Ray.
Hey,
Gary wants to be made to sleep with the fishes, yeah.
Alonso's not British.
The dumbest show I've ever been on.
Just follows England.
To be fair, right? I have a distant cousin rather, named Ben Spencer. He plays on the England rugby team, so there's that.
Okay. I want to see you drink a cup of tea. Drink a cup of tea with the little pinky out. That's what I want to see. A little pinky out, drinking tea.
No, a little bit of everything, but a lot of nothing.
My family said we've had enough of this England and got on the Mayflower.
Okay, Tom.
All right, Alonso. Let's come back to Arsenal a little bit, right? So I think as Gary and Tony might have mentioned as well, Bukayo Saka is performing at a high level, but Odegaard, Havertz, Martinelli, Trossard, whatever combination you want to put in there, they're not giving us enough this season.
Yeah, and you could point to I think Odegaard has been kind of glue these past 3 years, where where he goes, the team goes, kind of thing, where he's a captain and he's a very talented footballer, but it kind of shows you the drop off that Arsenal have once he's hurt and once he's not playing on the team. unfortunately, his drop off since he's been coming back hasn't been the same, unfortunately. And I think us fan base kind of put a lot of pressure for Odegaard. We didn't know it would be this bad. Him being out for a long time and rushing him back was just we kind of didn't want to rush him back, or Arteta didn't want to rush him back, so therefore the team has struggled to find its identity when he's been gone and when he's come back as well. Martinelli, to me, he tries to do too much, and therefore he's lost his confidence. Havertz, unfortunately, hasn't had it either. So this team has been lost, I think, to me. And it's kind of disappointing because then we're left with not who's going to score goals for Saka. Unfortunately, Saka is the only one that's really playing well right now, and hopefully the team will catch up sooner or later. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's kind of a mystery on what's going on there.
Not a mystery, it's tactics.
No, that's a mystery because you don't know what's going on.
What's
Money,
Odegaard
baby.
doing different?
Odegaard.
What's he
Odegaard,
doing?
Tommy. Odegaard.
What's he doing
Ballers.
different? Well, what's he doing different this year than he did last year? Not that he's playing the same position where he's not scoring goals. 2 years ago, he's scoring goals.
He's not
because he was a-
assisting. He's not even assisting, Tony.
It's kind of hard when you're playing right back half the time.
Oh God, here we go.
Who are we talking about here?
Odegaard. He's
Playing right back. Come on, Tony.
He is.
Yeah, it probably was Tom. You probably went right with that.
That's the
Whoever this Tom guy
second time
is.
in 3 minutes that Tony has been called Tom.
That's the
before
best.
word
That's
Tony.
you know what? When I said you weren't funny, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. You are funny because that was funny. I enjoyed that. That put a smile on my face. Ray can make jokes. Ray's got jokes, man. People, Ray's got jokes. Did you hear it? That's the one.
It's all in the delivery, Gary. It's all in the delivery.
It's better than the gym teacher I had that called me Toby for the entire year. Like, I'm not fucking Toby. I'm
but you can't say Odegaard
Toby.
plays right back. We have Urian Timber there as well, Tony. The real thing is Martinelli. Martinelli used to attack players and used to run out of pitch to get.
Martinelli used to do a lot of things, but he's a loser now. He's a loser now. I'm sorry. You don't like hearing that about your own players, but he's a loser now.
Yeah, I remember that one time.
He's not been performing. He used to run past players and run the ball out of play, so our opposition would have
He's not been
goal
playing
kicks.
like a winner, right?
No, he doesn't even have.
There are winners and there are losers, and there's a lot of losers, and Martinelli's currently one of them. But you're not necessarily stoned in to be a loser forever. That you can change that, but it looks like he probably won't. So just get on with our lives.
So how do we change it, Tom? Go get a player in January.
I've got a fortune teller that you can loan to you. I've got my fortune teller that you can have. But no, in all seriousness, it's really hard to say because obviously you tend to not get real game changers at the top end of the table in January. And I know someone's going to go, Liverpool got Diaz or something like that. But the fact of the matter is you got Trossard, and that was like the closest thing you've really had to that lately.
Well, we could go get a Brian Wembo.
Our Norwegian player. Our Norwegian player we got in.
We could go get Gyökeres.
Winter window.
Well, you can get in Wemo.
I think we could go get Wembo. Brentford would be open to doing that.
Right. Tom will probably recommend Arsenal get Brendan Aronson.
Or Firpo.
That's a great idea, actually. I've just had an idea come into the back of my head.
I was joking, Tom. I was joking.
We don't really need to hear it. Actually, you know what? It's probably fine just to keep it right where you don't have much. You've got tons of space in there. Leave it in
He's
there.
an international footballer. In fact, there's 2 international footballers that I can offer you. They
Junior
both happen
Firpo.
to play. They both happen to play in the CONCACAF. It's just coincidence. Actually, I will get something here because I'll never get to be in here, so I'm just going to say it. Congratulations, Junior Firpo, on becoming basically the greatest player in the history of the Dominican Republic, probably. He's like Lionel
Dominican.
Messi.
Dominican.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
say Dominican.
Well, yeah, we can pretend I did. I mean, I clearly said Dominican. Yeah. All right. We can pretend I said it whatever way you all think is right. But
Why
you
are we
obviously
even
know the
talking
opposite.
about Leeds today?
It's just joking, Gary. We're just having
Oh,
fun.
come on. Talk about
We're-
the greatest
This
club
is
in the world.
tongue-tied.
Nobody wants to hear about them. Come on,
Well,
seriously. No, ask
No.
anybody in the chat. Do they want to hear about Leeds?
Gary,
They'll tell
Gary,
you.
how come you
I'm
don't want to hear
sorry.
about the Mr. Tom
They
fan
won
service?
yesterday, Gary.
Did they win yesterday?
They
Did they
won.
win?
No, of course not.
Apparently, they won.
Oh,
Well,
I must have missed that.
that part tomorrow evening, Gary will be asking Tom about Leeds, but you can't do it on Sundays apparently.
Well, then, Tony, you should say, why are we talking about Leeds? Tommy, that's what you should say.
It looks like Gary just like crawled up inside his little hoodie there. Look at him all sad.
Crawled up
He
He's
crawls
into
up
his
grown.
inside
hoodie.
his own hoodie.
What are you talking about? I'm just ignoring you. Big difference.
All right, it's still 1-0 to Chelsea. We're waiting for Brentford to actually do something in this game.
They are knocking on the door, but
Are they?
the door is keeps shutting them out. They've had at least 2 or 3 opportunities to score here. They just hit the crossbar, it bounced down and bounced away from the goal. So yeah, they had a really nice play. He was just offsides, but he missed it anyways. But here they go again. That's one thing. That's one thing I'll say about Chelsea. Their defense is terrible. That was a shot, but didn't get much on it. Their defense is terrible. Like if they have to shut down a game with their defense, not going to happen if you press it.
This might sound like arrogance from an Arsenal podcast. You ready, Tom? This might sound like arrogance from an Arsenal podcast, but we are actually making Chelsea and Liverpool look good this season.
You really are.
Yeah. By our own inactions. Tony, we have played 16 games and we've won only half of those games. Drawn 6. Yep. Too many draws, Tony.
Yep, because we've been getting 2 or 3 draws the last 3 or 4 seasons, and now it's going up there. But W's have went away, so we're going back to Brownie's address and wealth. Yeah, if he still has one there. Has Brownie like disappeared?
Yeah,
he's down under. He's on a beach somewhere. He's either on a beach or he's wheelbarrowing a lot of concrete or sand or something like that. That's what he's up to. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like to speculate on it in case it turns out I am absolutely wrong, but we know we do know and love the guy. So
yes.
We do want to hear from him because this is
Really, has he gone quiet? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from him for a bit. Yeah.
Okay. I was unaware.
I
was unaware. Last time I saw him, I think he was caked in a lot of concrete or sand or something.
Yes, he did work one day.
He did work one day.
So with him after he worked one day, you'd have thought he was dying.
We do like to see his regular check-ins and his hot takes on football. As well.
He certainly has those. It certainly has those.
Certainly has those. Yeah, exactly.
He's one of the few people to have been on We All Love Leeds. Good time. I was kind of hoping that we'd get you in the cup, so then we could have Gary on as a guest.
You wouldn't want me on your show.
No, Gary, you dropped character for too long there, sir. Dropped it for too long there. You had big.
What is it? There's no character. Well, I am what I am. Leave me alone.
Tom, you will have to win your 3rd round tie, whoever that is, whoever you're.
Well, that'd be very hard to get against the Harrogate, who people may or may not know are a team that is essentially in Leeds.
You know, it's
basically,
over for
the
Brentford.
people-
They're down 2
No.
now.
Okay,
The
it's
people
over for
that go
Brentford.
to the people that go to watch Harrogate games are basically Leeds fans that need to watch football when Leeds are away, and they haven't got away tickets. That's essentially who Harrogate fans are. So basically, the entire stadium's going to be full of Leeds fans,
So you're telling me you can
and we'll still
finally
manage to
win?
lose, obviously.
So you have a bye.
I thought you were
Oh, no,
telling
there'll
me
be
you're
us.
finally to win a cup game, Tom.
We won 2 of them last season, sir.
All right, the next game, Gary. The next game for Arsenal is Crystal Palace in the
Mhm.
cup, right?
Crystal Palace, yeah, in the cup.
A quarterfinal.
And, yeah, we need to win this.
Yeah,
That's all there is to say about that one. Is we got to win this one. Just stay in the cup, but also to get back on the winning ways, and then we're gonna have to beat them on the weekend as well. They had a really good weekend, as you guys have said, and Eddie even got an assist late in the game. They pretty much scored every game. Every goal in the game. They scored an own goal and they scored 3 of their own. So Brighton got nothing out of that, and we struggled against Brighton. So survey says we're supposed to struggle against Crystal Palace, but I think we shouldn't. I think we're better than that. So let's see how we do this time. But we always seem to wake up when we have a little bit of a hiccup. Hopefully, this was a hiccup, and we respond. We need to as I've already said, we need to whatever just happened in the last match. Can't take it into the next one. So unless it's a win, of course. But yeah, we need to do a lot better. Whatever Arteta plans for, was it Wednesday? Hopefully, it's not whatever he planned for on Saturday.
So Ray, would you rather be at the Emirates on Wednesday, or would you rather be at the Emirates on?
It doesn't
Saturday?
matter, Tony. It's Crystal Palace. Why does it matter where we're playing?
Because Selhurst Park matters, Gary.
It doesn't matter. No, not if you think. Not if you're looking at our team going, we should be better than this. If we should be better than this, then it doesn't matter where we're playing.
My lawyer has stopped me from answering that question.
Yeah, because you're just bringing up nonsense and wasting your time, and I don't like. You know what? Your voice is very important to you. It's got lots of jokes for Tom, so I don't want to waste your breath on the nonsense that Tony's bringing up.
Exactly. Stephen said we had to win today, but didn't, so I'm not holding my breath. And that was against Everton yesterday.
Gary says that every day, like 30 times.
So before I go, I was just going to say, I was thinking of like an old-timey drink. Like, they go, give me a sarsaparilla. But then I was realising, oh, wait a minute, that rhymes a lot like a certain Gasparilla Bowl. That will be happening on Friday the 20th of December. Who's going to be playing in the Gasparilla Bowl? Oh, wait 1 second. It's the Florida Gators. Florida Gators. Florida Gators. That sort of links up with somehow.
Yes.
Did somebody
in the bowl, Gary?
Are you done?
Gary has had more fun. Gary has had more fun this year with the Florida Gators than probably in the last few seasons, right?
You know what? Yeah, we have. We actually have played. Look like we've played some good football in the last month or two, compared to what we did the last 5 years going into this thing. So yeah, it's actually been really good.
What's the full name of a bowl game, Tom?
Are you going, Tom?
Have a good night, really.
Are you going, Tom?
I said, what's the full name of the advertisers and then the actual bowl game?
I have no idea, Tony, to be honest. Oh, no, wait a minute. Union Home something. Sorry. Union Home Mortgage, not mortgage. What's mortgage? That's not a word. Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl between Tulane and Florida Gators. Florida Gators, everyone. The Gators. The Gators from Florida. Florida
Tom,
Gators.
So Tulane plays Florida?
Tulane are playing Florida Gators at 8:30 p.m.
All right, let's move
Gary,
on. This guy to stop talking, please.
So Gary, how did it come to that point where Florida played?
Sounds
Tulane
like that sheriff from Bond, the Bond movies.
How does it come to what?
How does it come to Florida playing Tulane?
Because
bowl
we
game.
suck. What do you mean?
This
That's
is
how it
Sergeant
happens. When you suck,
J.W.
you
Pepper.
play terrible teams, and that's what we do. We're playing terrible teams because we are not that good.
For the Gators.
So yeah, that's how it
Hey,
happens.
I'm Sergeant J.W.
We ain't
Pepper.
that good.
That sheriff
For
from
the
the Bond
Gators.
movies.
Tom, say it again,
No
Tom.
more Bond.
For the Gators.
The Florida Gators. No, I have a lot of respect for the Florida Gators, in all seriousness.
Really, Tom.
No, there was no punchline. I just wanted to end it there.
Yeah,
Gary's feelings.
just end it, please. Let's be over with this thing.
For the Gators. For the Gators.
What time is it?
You will never ever be able to take away that half a second where you were smiling. You look like the happiest man on earth when I turned around and went, "We'll have Gary on as a guest. We get Arsenal in the cup, which we will because we always draw you in the cup." And he looks so pleased. He looks so pleased with himself.
I could just walk into the show. What are you talking about?
No.
Let's see it. 20 minutes from now.
It's actually true. He can. I just really I thought, can you? I was like, no, he actually can. He can do exactly as his friend. He'll be quickly made to regret it, obviously, because obviously he'll be faced with me, who he claims to hate. So
I don't know who you are. Stop talking to me.
You could just change the password, Tom.
He won't do
but
that.
I'm too lazy for that. All that rubbish.
That sounds like work, right? And you know how Mr. Tom is not about work.
Really not.
No.
But no, it's been a genuine pleasure, gentlemen, to be invited to be a part of this. And by invited, what I really mean is like I just happened to commandeer the link when passing it to someone else. And obviously, it was really nice of Ray to actually go, "Oh no, actually, Tom, you can use it now. You're in possession of it." I was like, "Oh, gee, great, yeah." All that. No,
It was
good.
just ratifying what you were already going to do anyway. You know what I mean?
I actually wasn't planning on doing it at all, Ray, because I was like, I was going to set up my show. To be honest, Ray, I know none of you need to hear this, but I was washing my balls in the bath at the time of that conversation. So, you know. No,
I'm glad that you practice good
hygiene.
hygiene.
You know what? Come on, kill the show, Dave, as the quote goes. Kill
even
the show.
Vampires do that, Tony.
You know what? Too much information. I don't really need to know that. Can we get out of here, please?
Genuinely appreciate
blood
Ray.
out of somebody.
Gary, great fun as always.
I don't like you.
You missed me.
I hate you too, brother. I hate you too.
It was the energy vampire. You just zap their energy out of them. You don't have to stuck on their neck and get my blood.
Have a good night, Toadie. And take care, Alonso. Have fun tonight doing Martin Truex Jr. things.
Thanks,
I don't know what things.
Good to see you,
Stop the
Tom.
stream, Dave.
Thank you.
Good night, Dave.
I won't be back next week, obviously.
You've been cancelled.
To be fair, Tom, I am working next Sunday, so I won't be on either. So
I'm not working next Sunday. I'm just banned.
Yeah. Thank you.
Listen, this is what we do when Arsenal have a bad result. We bring in the distraction team of Tom. And Tom.
And then when Tom's not available, they just bring in Tom. You know, just
people.
Or that wee man in the shadows.
There you go. Oh no. That's not.
Can you imagine if you had a Tom and Tom was in charge of giving the directions?
Oh, Brentford just scored with a minute left in the game. In 90 minutes, they just scored.
Okay.
I don't know how much time left we on this, but since it's Chelsea, they're probably going to make it like 2 minutes.
Can you believe yesterday? Can you believe yesterday it was 4 minutes of added time for Arsenal?
I thought Preston versus Leeds. I couldn't believe there was 4 minutes of added time.
No. We had all that time being wasted by Jordan Pickford and Everton, and the referee somehow came up with 4 minutes of added time. which
Yeah. Well, we'll see how much time is in this one, but it's going to be 90 minutes in a second here, and it could have been almost a red card there, even though I don't think they would have called a red card, but it would
See,
have definitely been a yellow.
Brian Mbuemo scored. This is a player
Mhm.
Arsenal should go out and get.
I don't think you think he'll be available. Like
Yes.
he's got 10 goals this season. Oh my gosh, they're in another position. Can he get there first? Nope, it's going to be out for a corner. So here we go.
50 million.
7 minutes of extra time.
See, Arsenal didn't get 7 minutes yesterday. Not that we
7
would have
minutes of
scored.
extra time here.
We could have
Chelsea
played
ball
another
all
90
day
minutes
again.
and not scored.
And
You
there's a
know?
corner coming up. So can we call them set piece FC?
Can we
if they score?
bring in Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Megalegs into this team and score against Chelsea?
Chelsea are winning it. Chelsea are winning this league this season. Got
They're
feeling.
not winning the league, no.
Oh, but they're the ones without the pressure.
I like how the
They're
referee is
through.
like picking on one team and going,
Yeah, well, at
"What are
some
you guys
point, Tom,
doing?" And he's like, he's grabbing me the whole time.
Some point the media will pick up the thread. Chelsea are going well now, you know?
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, Brentford has had chances to get at least 2 goals in this game before all of this nonsense. Here comes the corner. It's got cleared out. So there we
Tell
go.
me, Brian Mbuemo can play through the middle as well.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely
Ball
Arsenal
into the
should go
box.
and buy a player in January.
I'd also like to congratulate Tottenham Hotspur on stopping playing after 45+4 when they got their 5th goal, and basically just allowed Southampton the dignity of basically just playing out no goals in the second half. Very polite of them.
Yeah.
They
Is
should have done
Ramsdale
that.
back?
They should have gone for 9 again.
I want to see if Ramsdale's in this team. Because didn't he
I
lose?
can tell you that.
No, McCarthy. So Ramsdale, some of those people who were bigging up Ramsdale to stay at Arsenal, where are you now? You know what I mean?
I agree, Stefan. They can come back in the second half of the year to become champions. 100%.
That would be a hell of a turnaround. Ed Sheeran would compose a song about that in a Lolo-esque style. Santino's has been good and bad. Probably a double. Yeah.
Are they in every competition, Ipswich? Can they actually make it a double?
I don't think they're in
Everyone's in the FA Cup, sir.
Wow.
Not everyone.
Well, everyone that's in the Premier League is currently
Everyone
in the FA Cup.
that's in the Premier League, but the Premier League is not everything, Tom. There are leagues outside of the Premier League.
Yeah, I know that all too well, sir.
Yeah, right.
I know far too much about Football League.
I mean,
I don't even know. Ray, I don't know where you were going with that. So
no, I've heard.
I would have said something, but as your lawyer, I don't even know what nonsense you were.
There are some people. There are some people who think football started in 1992.
I don't know who those people are. Those people need to have a rusty nail shoved up their jack tie.
That just sounds nasty.
It is. That's why they shouldn't accept that football existed from like 1874, whatever it would be.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like Tom Dale, like we say in the first.
What about the people who went out in the third round, Tom?
Well, then they're not in the cup, are they? But Ipswich wouldn't be one of them, would they? Because they're probably going to win the cup.
Everyone who's meant to be in the third round are in the third round.
Everyone that got picked in the draw is currently still in the FA Cup third round. Yeah.
That's why, Ray, I was like, where are you going with this? He's got you. Just like, let it go.
Oh, no.
He's not in wave.
Sorry, I need that. I'm gonna need that clips and framed, by the way. Yeah.
Which one?
Got you.
I don't believe I was taken there, but there you go.
You were taken there. You made a point which obviously was like not going to win.
Gary, I'm never wrong. You should know this, Gary. I'm never wrong.
Which is ironic. That makes it a great battle because I'm also never wrong, apart from the times that I am.
And Gary's never wrong either.
That is the most truth you said all day.
That's ironic, though, because Tony's never wrong. Oh,
Sideways.
Tony.
Hey, that's going to be a yellow card for Cucurella.
Sideways Tony is never wrong.
Mm.
I,
There we go.
I thought I was wrong once, but I was mistaken.
That's really good, Tony. But he actually believes that as well.
The thing is, like, if me or Gary said that, it would obviously be passed off as a joke. But Tony said it, and he's deadly serious. There was actually a time where he thought he might be wrong, and it turned out he wasn't. Even though he was wrong. I'm pretty sure of it.
Well, he's wrong like 90% of the
No, I
time.
stand
but
corrected.
because he just,
I'm right.
he just shuts up. He,
Yeah.
You know, we just let it go. We don't like.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty much how that works.
100%.
And Tony was like, "No, I stand corrected. I'm right."
Now Cucurella is down after just getting a yellow. Imagine that.
Is
Who's
his
down?
hair okay?
Yeah.
I am never wrong, apart from the odd time.
Oh,
I am not correct.
he went down because he ran into a guy who was just standing there. The defender was just standing there. He ran into him, fell over, and the referee's like, "Yeah, that's got to be a foul." Oh my god, that's just
He
terrible.
didn't fall down like Des Walker.
If you
or
watch
Kyle
it, and
Walker
does he get a
today.
yellow for this? If the referee saw this, goes back and watches this, he's gonna go, "How in the world did I give a yellow for that?" The guy Cucurella ran into the guy who's just standing there, goes down, and then they call a yellow card on him. That is ridiculous.
That's
Right.
why there's 7 minutes of added time.
That is the PGMOL.
That is
Gary
terrible.
at its
Terrible,
finest.
terrible.
Despite starting my exit,
Leave,
speech.
please. Bye.
Despite starting
Whatever.
that speech,
No,
like
just go.
23 minutes ago.
Don't even start the exit the exit monologue. Just go.
And you started yours like 10 minutes after race, and I have to leave.
Who's you?
Ray referring. Ray is you in this case.
The fifth column.
Because
I'll see Gary a
Right.
lot of times, but I don't know who this surly gentleman is.
I don't know
I know,
who you
he's-
are, and I've never seen Mr. Tom. I keep hearing about it, and I'm
You-
like
Gary-
happy I've not met him.
Gary's like gets the longer
Oh my
this
God.
Chelsea game
Mr. Tom
goes,
is a pseudonym.
the longer
Actually
this
making me
Chelsea
cry.
game goes,
Tears of
Gary
joy.
just keeps getting angrier and angrier.
It's over. It's over. So
It's all over.
Chelsea sits second, 2 points back. Liverpool still has a game in hand. Arsenal 6 points back of Chelsea. So 4 points back of Chelsea. So good thing they still played him. Cucurella is going after everybody. He's lucky somebody doesn't take him. That should be definitely a yellow for Cucurella. He put his hands on a player. What an idiot. Dumb. That's his second yellow. It's a red card, right? He's out for the next game. What a dummy.
Oh,
He already
after-
got a yellow. He just got a second. Oh, he's out here. He got the red card. He's out for the next game. What a dumb donkey. He did a furpo.
Just call him
Wow.
a jackass.
The whistle's blown and he said, hold my furpo. I mean, hold my beer.
Next
And
game
then-
is
then he went
My,
full
my
Furbo.
favourite part of that is Firpo got the 3-game ban for headbutting a Millwall player. Perfectly justified. Fine, whatever. I was sitting there thinking, I bet when he comes back, he will get injured the first game he's back. And what happened the first game he's back? Injured for 6 weeks. Pure Firpo. And that's why it's the best man alive.
Yeah. So I don't know who Chelsea plays next, but Cucurella will not
Everton
have a say
away.
in it. Everton away. Well, we just played Everton and we were terrible. I have a feeling they're going to blow them away. So
wow. Can Everton put 3 performances together?
No.
That's my question. No.
Cucurella is an idiot.
They,
Just
they,
walk
they
away,
can,
buddy.
Ray, but will they?
They've beaten Wolves at home. They drew with Arsenal, and they're going to welcome Chelsea. And
Like,
I don't-
I've seen old folks home that would beat Wolves in a friendly.
yeah.
So do
All
we
right.
know who? So what are the odds on who's on favorite for Wolves' next manager?
I've seen some of them want the West Brom manager because of his reputation for not conceding goals.
Okay, so
I don't know.
what did he get sacked for results, or did something go down at that club with the fracas yesterday? Was there some kind of
I
a
think
thing
it was results.
results based?
his press conference where he basically threw all his players under the bus, rightly threw them under the bus, probably didn't help his case. But
Okay.
he didn't say anything there that was unfair. He basically said one of the Ipswich players scored a goal. Rory Delap, I believe it was, scored a goal that was so easy. It reminded him of like probably what Rory Delap did when he was playing against children. He ran through his players like they were children. He went, Rory Delap will never score a goal easier than that in his life, which is true. Personally, I think you should be sacked after losing to Ipswich.
Well, there you go, Stefan. Losing to Ipswich is like basically a resignation letter in itself. You just need to. What do you say at the end of it, Mr. Tom? After you sign that, when you play a game like that,
go fuck yourself.
I know what you're doing, Tom.
Wow.
He doesn't know me, but he knows how to set up my catchphrase. But still.
I've heard through the grapevine.
Yeah. You heard what I say. Yeah. Like,
I don't know who you are again, but that's all right.
I'll start my show in 2 minutes.
So go start. Yeah, go start your show. And
can you make that transition seamless?
Tom's just like do both of them on the same thing.
Hey everyone, welcome to We All Love Leeds.
Yeah, you might as well.
Intro. But yeah, seriously, have a good night, guys. Genuine pleasure.
Take care, Tom.
All right, see you.
Thank you, sir.
It was amazing. In all
seriousness,
take care.
Mr. Tom.
Have a good night, Alonso. Have a good night, Tony.
That was the secretary of Alonso speaking. Yeah. The secretary of defense, All right.
I like how the Chelsea game ends and Gary finally smiled.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Brentford too little, too late against Chelsea. We're scoreboard watching Liverpool and Chelsea games now. Man City, I think we can safely say, are out of the picture. But here we are. Arsenal, we're one third through the season. We played 16 games. Maybe that's not correct. No, we are 42% through the season. We played 16 games. But we've only got 33% of the points that we need to get to 90. Gary, those numbers don't add up, Gary. 42%. We should be tracking further than where we are right now.
Yeah, we are way off the pace that we should be at because of. I mean, really and truly, as I've always said, there's no game we should have lost so far this season, but we have dropped points in too many.
And the thing,
I'd rather have more losses than what we've than the draws we have. So I'd rather split the draws that we had with losses as opposed to with having all the draws. So I think we've drawn 6 times.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I think it's 6 times we've drawn, or 5
we've
times.
Drawn 6.
Yeah, if we had won 3 of those and lost 3 of those,
6 more points.
Yeah, no, 3 points more.
3 more points. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of those points could have been against like a Chelsea, could have been against a Liverpool, could have been against City doesn't matter now. But if you figure you get a win, if you had beaten Liverpool, right? That's 2 points closer to them you would be. And then if you had you'd win 2 other games, you'd be even 4 points closer to them, right? So we're talking, basically a 2-point difference with them still having a game in hand. But nope, we didn't do that. So
Alonso, too many draws in there, and draws are going to kill you just as much as losses will.
I do not like
I think that we should have beaten those teams that we drew. I think that we're a talented team, but we let teams that are weaker sides into games. In point, like I said before, we should have beaten Bournemouth. But we got someone sent off that game. I think part of the problem is that when you were man down, you could defend, but I don't know why Arsenal had a hard time having possession when we're man down and scoring, or at least trying to attack. We're too busy trying to defend when we're man down, case in point, City and Bournemouth. But I think situations like in big games, they didn't have a habit of losing their head a little bit, and they get frazzled when they shouldn't have to be. Um, Yesterday, I think for some reason I'm led to believe that Arteta played more defensively. Yeah, he didn't play attacking football. Um, and against Fulham, um, you know, they need to control the tempo a little bit and have possession and keep attacking. Because at one point, at a point, our strength was attacking the football or attacking the other end of the pitch, and they lost that. I think Arteta is too obsessed with defensive records,
Mm,
or at least keeping clean sheets, and that's what I realized. He's not.
yeah.
He's not. He doesn't want to move forward. He's busy trying to press. He's too busy trying to get the team to just stay conservative, and it's just we as a fan base, we're used to attacking football, and we don't need to be doing that with the players we have.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we used to be a free flowing team that Tony and I would debate progressive or pragmatic. We've gone completely from being a progressive team going forward. It was difficult with Zinchenko, honestly, a left back, and trying to cover up his deficiencies. But we have gone completely 180 away from any kind of risk. And look, Arteta's done a great job in terms of we don't get shellacked by big teams anymore. We don't get beaten by City. Man, I can't remember the last time we've been beaten by a big team. But in the same respect, we need to find ways to open things up again and score more because we are relying too much on Bukayo Saka. We are relying too much on set pieces or corner kicks or whatever distinction you want to make in there. This
Okay,
season,
corner kicks because the Premier League didn't give us credit for
yeah.
one set piece goal.
And this season we haven't strung more than 3 wins together in a row in the Premier League, and that's not good enough. That's not going to win us anything this season in terms of the league title. Tony, what are your final thoughts? We'll go around the house with final thoughts. So this will be your one and only time to speak on your own terms. You can obviously jump in when Gary's talking or Alonso's talking. But
We did
go
win
ahead.
3 in a row.
Yes, with no more than 3 in a row, right?
Okay, yeah, but we have done it.
All right, we need more, as you would
We're-
say. We need more.
Right now we're standing with double D's, but
Yep.
talking about headers and stuff, Watkins and Isaac are up there tied with Gabriel with 3. You would figure Havertz would have more with his height and stuff, but to me, he's like I said the other day. To me, he's not really a striker. Maybe he's a forward, but he's not somebody that's gets you these clinical, nice looking goals.
The headed goals.
Yeah, he can head them, but he can't do anything else with them.
Okay. Kai Havertz, yeah.
Yeah,
We need more than we've become reliant on Bukayo Saka once again. And we were that way a few seasons ago. We've gone back to that spot again. And so I'm here on an Arsenal podcast asking for the club to go out and buy a player like Brian Mbeumo, or dare I say Gyökeres,
we still need bodies, right? When I was looking up all that stuff for you, Arsenal, I think, was at the lowest with only having 24 players.
Yeah. We need
of
more.
the club.
And what
It's
because
like we sell these players or perpetually loan them out, but we never bring anybody in as a replacement. So we're constantly short on depth,
yeah,
and that's why you get players fatigued. I know Alonso earlier was saying he wanted Partey to play again, but he played Wednesday with his injury history. You probably want to rest him. I thought Jorginho's did fine, and he only came on after Rice got hurt, which Rice has been the biggest disappointment of the season, really,
yeah.
compared to what he did the last year and this year. It just
I
hasn't
think
looked good.
I think what comes to light eventually is players might have injuries that they're working through and carrying
But
through the
I
season.
think the problem with him, Ray, is they can't decide if they want to use him as an 8 or use him as a 6. And I think they'll have to decide where or Arteta's have to decide
Yeah,
where does he want him at
yeah.
on the field instead of sometimes I'll play here, sometimes, and it's not really tactical. It seems like either. Just
We do need to transition our midfield into something that is recognizable and repeatable.
because it's been 3 years now. We haven't figured out that left side, and it's got to
Yeah,
be figured out.
yeah,
And it's made worse because guess what? Arteta was a midfielder, so you figure that would be the position he would know the best. But for some reason, that's been the problem the entire time he's been coaching us.
yeah,
Is the midfield.
yeah. Okay, Tony. Thanks, Gary. What have you got? Signing off with.
Yep, 2 wins. That's what we need. That's really where we need to go. We need to get 2 wins in this week. Come back next week talking about the 2 wins that we got.
Yeah,
And move on from there. So we need to get back on a winning streak. Starts Wednesday. That is a Wednesday? Where is that match? That match is
sell her at home. We're at the
it's
Emirates.
home. It's home. So we need to get that win. Get back on winning ways at home and winning
then
ways
we
in
go.
in football. And then we have to continue on Saturday and get the next win. Get back on a home winning streak in the Premier League, and then go from there. We've got once again our. I mean, until we play City, we have manageable games in front of us.
Yeah,
We play Palace twice, Ipswich, Brentford, Brighton, Manchester United, that team, Villa, Dynamo Zagreb, Wolves, Girona, and then we play City. And even after that, we stay listed. We have lots of games that we should be able to be the favorites in.
They are
here on out. I mean, until we played Chelsea in March, so we have a lot of games. We should be able to put it together a 5 to 10 game winning streak. We have.
Yeah, we need to feel that confidence again. We need to feel that confidence again that we can take on these teams and beat them.
And we should have been able to do that because we had 12 or 13 games in London. So
right,
you're not really traveling. You're
just
taking a tour bus around London.
Draws can be annoying because you drop points very quickly. And those 2 draws have really halted our progress. I thought we turned the corner since the Chelsea game. We won 3 in a row, and then these 2 draws have halted us a bit. We need to get back on the bandwagon. Alonso, take us out of here with your final thoughts. And Gary, Tony, Tom, I know you hear me, Tom. Thanks for joining. Alonso, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, we just need to play Arsenal football. I hope Arteta can figure out who his best 11 are. Granted, some players need more rest than others. And after December is a charge, I think that we're more than capable of winning a league. But it's up to the guys and Arteta to see what kind of team he puts out there and have confidence in them. And at some point they gotta realize who they're playing for and what kind of badge they're wearing. in the shirt that they put on every weekend or every Wednesday, Tuesday, and see what gets one in the transfer window. But yeah, like Gary had said, we have teams that we could beat, and even City are vulnerable right now. So it's a work in progress, I guess. And seeing how they can improve in a quick amount of time. Um, and it's up to leaders on this team to make a change. And Arteta has to make that tough choice to figure out which players want to be here and who don't, who can't be here because, like you guys mention all the time about levels, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing his subs come on, like Jesus, like a Zinchenko, like a Trizard. They aren't doing much, and they got to figure out something very quick because they're losing out on the title pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's reality that I think Arsenal fans have to look at, saying is Arteta really up for it, and are these players up for it? Because right now they're in a rut, and they need to learn to get out of this rut because they're going to lose hope very quickly.
100%. You got to stand up. Arsenal players got to stand up and show that they have the stomach for this fight. They're in the fight. Rodri is injured for City. Last year, he would be the guy shouting at players in the dressing room saying, "We need to win this thing." I hope Arsenal have those players in their dressing room doing that thing. Arsenal have hit a blip in terms of injuries and other things that have happened to us. Hopefully, the second half of the season we can charge. Looking for Liverpool and now Chelsea, who have appeared on the premises to stumble as well. So we can get back into this thing. But for me, we've waited long enough for silverware, and it's got to happen this season. Silverware's got to happen this season, or it's going to start running out of time in this whole thing.
I think the problem is, Ray, is these fixtures are stacking up, and they're gonna be this way like through March. You're playing every 2 to 3 days, and I think already with the 2 draws, you're seeing that Arsenal isn't really up to doing that.
Well, all the more reason to do something in January, and it'll be very telling if the club is inactive for the whole month of January. Gary, Alonso, anything else you want to add?
It's good. The win, please.
All
Win,
right.
baby.
That's all.
Gary,
It's really
Gary,
annoying when we don't win. It's annoying. Yeah, Tony.
Gary, what did you say Arteta said about the January window?
Basically, he sounded like he said, don't expect anything.
They always say that, though, right?
Yeah, and you know what? He should be always saying, if we got holes, we will fill them. That's what he should be saying.
He should be saying that, but they're always worried about tipping their hand to other prospective clubs that we're going to buy from.
Hello, McFly. Have you watched us play? Can we score goals? You even said it in Bueno. You're actually like, you know what? We're looking at Isak. We're looking at all Osman. We're looking at all these players, but we're okay to get in Bueno. I've heard Chris Wood be a potential player to bring in because he actually scores goals. Right? Mm-hmm. Both of those players have more goals than our top scorers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we are poor on the scoring thing. We need somebody
to put the ball in the net. New. We need something new. We need a spark in the forward section. We need a spark.
But we could do something very smart. We touched upon this Thursday. There's a football director that's available that just got quit or sacked. That's kind of flip-flop. But Gary went through all the players that he signed, and it sounds like that should be somebody even if we just do it throughout the end of the year, because you need somebody picking out the players, and a dude's basically on holiday until the end of the season. So,
all right, folks. We'll leave it there. Okay. Thank you for your time today. We had some time. Some of us enjoyed it. Some of us didn't enjoy it. But Arsenal, we want to get back to talking about Arsenal winning games, and that starts on Wednesday, I think, in the Carabao Cup quarterfinal. All right, everybody, take care. Come on, you Gunners. Thanks for joining, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.